Today we continue with our class Kitzur Shulchan Aruch. So we continue with Kitzur Shulchan Aruch, and we're on Siman 52, and I think, BeEzrat HaShem, I'm planning to finish this Siman. And our big topic is Ha'etz, Ha'adama, and Shechakol blessing. So we say all of the blessings on the food. So of course, Kitzur goes through all of these unusual cases, and it's very interesting. So okay, the next one is number 17, and it says complete kernels of grain, wheat, barley, spelt, oats, and rye. So all of this those are mizoines, right? If you make bread, if you make a cookie or cakes or pasta, right, from this, so those are mizoines. I consider pri hadama, right? Again, full kernels of grain. So you make like cereals of like hot cereal from these kernels. Okay, but pri hadama, fruit or produce of the ground. And when eaten in that form, they are blessing bare pri hadama. Okay. So, however, once they have begun to be processed and cooked into nourishing food, the proper blessing is baremine mizoines, who create the species of nourishment. Okay, so let's see the commentary. Okay, so they just direct us somewhere else. Okay, so no problem. So again, if we have flour from wheat, barley, spelt, oats, and rye, and we baked some things other than bread, so we have we say the blessing baremine mizoines. But if you have complete kernels, you do not grind them, complete kernels, you just cook them, right? So we say bare pri hadama. Okay. Continue. In this year, Kitzur discusses whether the grains of millet and rice are also included in this halacha. Millet and rice that were cooked, if they are not crushed, one will say bare pri hadama, blessing upon them. If they are crushed, or if they ground, if he ground them and made bread from their flour, there is a difference between the millet and rice. Insofar as the actual halacha, when they are crushed or made into the bread, one recites the blessing baremine mizoines. That's not what we do. Okay. Baremine mizoines, who creates the species of nourishment, upon which he is called ores. Okay. And shechakol upon that which is called dochan. Okay, we're going to explain all of this. However, we are unsure as to identity of these grains. There is if ores is millet or dochan rice, or vice versa. Very interesting. Therefore, God-fearing persons should not eat crushed rice or millet, unless it is during the meal. In a present situation, when he has no bread with which to exempt these foods, he should recite shechakol blessing upon both millet and rice when they are crushed or to be made into bread. And after eating them, one should recite bare nefashos. Okay, so let's do this piece from the beginning with commentaries, and we're going to explain. So millet and rice, commentary. Although Kitzur refers to ores and dochan as a millet and rice, respectively, it will soon become clear that this definition is subject to dispute. So in Gemara brings these two names, but we think that the millet and rice, but we don't know which is what. Okay. So one more time. When the millet and rice, if they were cooked, if they were not crushed, so complete, cooked, not crushed, one recite bare pri hadama, blessing upon them. If they're crushed, or they're ground, or if he ground them, he made bread from their flour, then there is a difference between millet and rice. So let's see 45 commentary. 46, sorry. This includes even the slight crushing of the kernels and possibility that even the removal of the husks is done with a white rice. So very interesting. So white rice meaning no husk. So it is in some sense it is crushed. So that's not what we say on mizonis. But let's continue reading. Okay. So let's. So far, what we said on the millet and rice, if they cooked, not crushed, complete kernels, so we say borei pri chodama is on others. Okay. If they were ground and then made into bread from their flour, then there is a difference between millet and rice. Okay. Millet and rice. For insofar as the actual halacha, when they are crushed or made into the bread, one is said the blessing barei minei mizoines, who creates species of nourishment, upon which it's called ores. Commentary. Because that's not what we do. That's not what we do. So, but let me read the commentary and we can explain. When this grain is eaten in a cooked form, or after it has been made into the bread, it satisfies and nourishes the person, as do the 5 species of grain. Therefore, the blessing of barei minei mizoines, who create the species of nourishment, is appropriate. However, the final blessing, Allah Mihia, or Birchat Hamazon, is recited only on the 5 grains, due to their significance. After eating ores, see the next note, however, one recites barei nefashos blessing. Okay. So, but we don't know which is what. Okay, so what we said in this commentary. So if somebody made it into bread, so he say barei minei mizoines. Okay, so on what? On rice flour, if it's made from rice flour or from millet. Okay. Why? Again, because it's 38. Okay, one second. Okay, so far so good. Continue. That's not what we do, but continue. We're going to explain. And shechakol upon that which is called dochan. So on ores we say mizoines. On dochan we say shechakol. Okay. Continue. So meaning the bread. If you have bread, and that's what we actually do. On if you have bread made from rice bread, or for example, some people eat this gluten-free pizza. So it made from rice, right? So you say shechakol. However, we are unsure the identity of these grains. So which is what? There is if the ores is millet and docha is rice, or vice versa. So on one, okay. So Gemara says on one we say mizoines, on another one we say shechakol, but we don't know which is what. Therefore, a God-fearing person should not eat crushed rice or millet unless it's during the meal. So during the meal, meaning that it's going to be covered by bread. Okay. Meal meaning, meaning meal that you're going to eat normal bread from one of the 5 species, and this is like extra. Commentary. Generally, any food eaten within the context of the meal that has a bread is exempt from separate obligation to recite upon Brocha Rishona. Okay, so that's so we say if it's not a dessert. So if it's a dessert, it could be problematic to be included into the meal. But we say I don't know, like some crushed rice meal, whatever is it. Okay. Continue. Mishnah Brura 208-25 rules, based on the consensus of the many authorities, including the Vilna Gaon, Zatzal, that ores is in fact rice, and therefore appropriate blessing barei minei mizoines. Okay. So also biur halacha. So okay, and that's exactly what we say on rice, cooked rice. That's what we say. We say barei minei mizoines. Okay. In a present situation, when he has no bread with which to examine this food, he should recite Shechakol blessing upon both millet and rice when they are crushed and made into bread. Shechakol, okay. And after that, one recite Borei Minei Mizonos. So it doesn't matter how much of this bread. Just 1 second. One should recite Shechakol blessing on the both millet and rice when they're crushed and made into bread. So bread meaning like rice cakes or something. So rice cakes, I'm not sure if it's a good example because it's a lot of wheat in there. It's not only rice flour, but like when they say in the store, they say gluten free. So we can rely that there is no white flour or whole wheat flour or other flour. So if they say gluten free, it means there is rice only. Okay, so on this we say Borei Minei Mizonos. Shechakol, I'm sorry, we say Shechakol. Shechakol, that doesn't matter how much you eat. So in this pizza you have several slices and still Borei Nefashos. Okay. So continue. For bread that is made from legumes, for example, corn. Okay. Corn. Even in the places where they normally eat such bread, we recite Shechakol blessing upon eating it. So again, the same idea. I think like in my mind it's easy to explain the bread halachically considered to be bread only from these 5 species, meaning what? Wheat, barley, spelt, oats, and rye. That's it. So all other breads, even though they look like bread, not actually bread, but you say Shechakol. Including this corn. I'm not sure if it's they do like pure bread from pure corn, maybe. So I'm not sure how it would look because this corn bread, well, whatever they sell in the stores, it's mixed with white flour. It's not pure corn. Okay, so on those you would say Borei Minei Mizonos for sure. Okay, so let's see the commentary. Regrettably is not appropriate with here because the kernel is not in original state, and these grains are not usually used for bread. So, okay, even in some countries when they use a lot of eat a lot of cornbread, still the kernels is not in original state, meaning they were processed. So, but if you cook, for example, corn, what do fry or do whatever with the corn, right? And you eat it like that. So you say Regrettably on this on this kernel, right? But if you make bread out of it, so it does not look like corn. So for sure you say Shechakol. So it says even in the places normally eat such bread. So we still say Shechakol. We recite Shechakol blessing upon it. Okay. Just 1 second. Quickly read the commentary. Okay. So that doesn't matter how much of this bread you're going to eat. You're never required to say Birchas Hamazon. Just to remind us, if you eat enough meaning what? Enough meaning 4 ounces. No, 8 ounces. 8 ounces of mizonos, or something like that. So you would be required to actually say Birchas Hamazon if it's your meal. If it's like if you like 8 ounces, I would say if you have a big muffin, like huge muffin, like that you buy from the store, or like a few danishes, like right. So you would need to like big danishes. So you would need to wash your hands and say hamotzi because it's bread. If it's your meal, if you have right, it's your meal. Continue, but on this cornbread doesn't matter how much you eat. It's never Birchas Hamazon is required. Okay, so continue. Tzibri Megadim Siman 2:8 Mishbotzet Zachav chapter 11. Okay, so let's see. There is commentary. I'm not sure what it says there. So let's see the commentary. The Pri Megadim there argues that in the regions when the corn is used for primary for bread, Chadamat should be recited. Sichava Mishnah Brura 2833, who writes that it is preferable to eat it only in the course of the bread meal, so to avoid the question of which blessing is recited. The halachic authorities, when discussing corn, base their opinion upon the common use of the corn in their times, in their countries. For example, the response of Chassam Sofer cited in the Mishnah Brura, which said that the corn of his day was planted primarily to feed the fowl. Interesting. And was rarely used for human consumption. Very interesting. Okay, so let's do from the beginning. So Pri Megadim writes that in a region when the corn is used primarily for bread, so I think in South America, I think that they use the corn primarily for bread, right? So according to Pri Megadim, they would need to say Bare Pri Chadama because that's a desired state of the of this product, right? Like processed, but that's desired state. So you would say Bare Pri Chadama. So Mishnah Brura. So he said that it's preferable to eat this kind of the corn bread only in the meal of with regular bread, right? But on the other hand, it says that when Mishnah Brura was writing his response or his commentary, so he was based on the Chassam Sofer, and Chassam Sofer said that people in Europe, so it was written in Europe, so did not eat actually like corn. Right, potatoes, but not corn. So and it was usually used as a corn as a feed for the birds, right, for a fowl, and was rarely used by human consumption. I'm not sure why. With regard to this and all other similar questions, one must consult contemporary halakhic authorities, whose decision will be based on conditions or farming and marketing of the day in specific region. So that's it's the first time that we see this kind of disclosure. So if for example in that region, whatever region is, they never eat like almost don't eat the wheat bread or rye bread or the spelt bread, all of this the things. The bread means for them only corn bread. Like majority of the people of that country, of that place, so you would say, the way I understand, you would say Bare Pri Chadama on that bread. It's not Mizoines because it's not one of the five, but Bare Pri Chadama you would say. Very interesting. So it depends. But so this but since in Europe they did not use it like it was not very popular, so because wheat was much cheaper, I guess. So that's why they say only shechakol. Okay. So from here we see, I think it's a beautiful example when HaShem gave us Torah, but it's not complete. Meaning what? Meaning that He gave us tools, all of the necessary tools, how to arrive to the proper decision, how to arrive to halacha, and He said to the rabbis, the sages, He said, I want you to be my partners. Meaning what? As we just said, so if He see that based on the tools, based on the rationale that the Torah gives him, if it's a primary food of the place, and all of the majority of the people would use this cornbread as a mainstay of the meal, so it's Bare Pri Chadama for sure. Okay, very interesting. Continue, sees the Shulchan Aruch Orach Chaim 289. So, okay, just one second. The laws of the blessing of flour from the mixed sources. Oh, for the laws of mixed sources. Okay, so commentary said there's a mixture of flour from one of the 5 species of grain, wheat, barley, oats, and rye, spelled together with other flours. Of course, I don't have this right now available, but just to remind us. So if we have this wheat flour, for example, mixed with corn flour, and you actually can taste the wheat flour. So you say barei mine mizoros on this thing, okay, on the mixture. Whether you can say barei nefashos after that, depends how much you ate, right? What was the proportion of the mixture, the ratio. Okay. Continue. Next halacha number 18 says, upon sugar, once you recite shechakol blessing. Okay. So commentary. So sugar is made from sugar beets or from the sugar cane. So basically, it's something that grows from the ground. I mean, we take it for granted that it is shechakol, but technically, if you think about it, it's actually fruit of the ground. Right, whether it's made from the sugar beets or from sugar cane, doesn't matter. Okay, so but we say shechakol. Why? Because it's processed. So it's like when you look at sugar and you look at the sugar beet. So I mean you will not see the connection. So commentary. Many authorities maintain the correct blessing of sugar, borei ha'etz, because it is a primary product of the sugar cane. Sugar cane, I'm not sure. I never seen the sugar cane is growing, but I never thought that it's like a tree or something. Very interesting. Which remains standing. Oh, they explain. Okay. So it is primary product sugar cane, which remains standing from year to year. Okay, we have to, after the class, see the pictures how this sugar cane is growing. Very interesting. So it's like a tree. In another word, it's like a tree, and it's so it's So there is many authorities say you have to say borei on sugar cane only. Although halacha does not follow these opinions, if one did recite borei or even borei dama on sugar, one has fulfilled his obligation. So after the fact, if he say borei dama on sugar, he fulfilled his obligation. But I'm not sure. Like people usually don't eat sugar straight, like with a spoon. I don't know, unless I would say like sugar cubes. Especially in olden days, it was very popular to have sugar cubes. Okay, and then today, many times in old halachic books, it's very interesting. I know even this, of course, in Kitzur for sure. So it says in the case of the doubt, so make a shechakol on a sugar cube, and keep in mind that it should include some other food that you're in doubt of. Okay. Likewise, the sugar made from beets, one should recite shechakol, right? If one recites borei dama, he should not recite the shechakol, for he has fulfilled the obligation. Okay, because they grow from the ground. Okay, so continue. This first sentence: upon sugar, one recites shechakol blessing. Clear. Likewise, if one sucks sweet stalks of the sugar cane or similar plant, he should recite shechakol. Likewise, on cinnamon, on licorice plants, that one chews and swallows only the taste, and spits out the main portion of the plant, one recites shechakol blessing. So even though you suck on only the taste does not make any difference, right? It's still there is some substance goes with the taste. Okay. All right, we finished that. Let's see if it was very long, very long. 18. Let's see if any questions on what we said so far. Yes, please.
So what would be the blessing over spring rolls?
What? But spring rolls. What is it? Oh, spring rolls is like there's some stuffing in there, like cabbage.
Yeah, they can be stuffed with anything, like I don't know, meat, veggies, or whatever. They are wrapped up in rice paper.
Okay, all right. So on this you say Bareminim rice paper. 1 second.
Yep.
So not wheat or other things, not wheat or barley, only rice.
Not that I know of. I think it's just like
I
rice
think. I have to double check. I would assume that you would say shechakol on them. Right. Unless it isn't like paper is like if it's made into bread, so it's one thing. But if it's like as you say paper, I'm not sure. So I would say shechakol. But on all other things that are stuffed, we say boremine mizoines. That's one of the types of mizoines, right? So one type, one of the three types in double quotes is which has pocket, which has some stuffing. It's from bread family, but it's not bread. Right? So if you eat a lot, you would say, or you're planning to eat a lot, so you would go wash your hands, say and say chamotzi over them. Okay. Okay. Any other questions before we continue?
Yes, Rabbi.
Yes, go ahead.
The question that I have is, let's say the sugarcane, the plants, right? What happens if somebody had the intention of those plants being to drink, right? Because down here in Florida, in Miami, we drink a lot of that. So what would be the blessing on that? Because if there's like some people say ha'etz and some people say shakol.
No, wow. What's that? When you say drink, you mean it is a liquid, correct?
Yeah, it's the plant. In Spanish, it's called guarapo.
No, 1 second. But it is a liquid. So on all of the liquids, we say shechakol besides the wine. I'm not sure why, unless it's not liquidy. It's not liquid like something like thick as I see the hands 1 second. So like it's thick like a sour cream. So sour cream is not liquid, halachically, right? Because it's not freely flowing. But everything freely flowing, it's a liquid. I'm not sure why somebody would say other than shechakol.
No, my question is, what happens if somebody had the intention of those plants being used for making drinks? That's my question.
But most of the people don't do that. I would say shechakol. Okay. So okay. There was another comment, please.
I have a question, Rabbi.
Yes, please.
Like when after you say Berka Hamazon, do you, let's say I have water and I want to drink it after I say that, am I allowed to do that? It was part of my meal, but I forgot to drink it.
No, it's part of the meal. So okay, so that's a very good question.
After I bench already, I'm like, oh man, I forgot to.
No, that's fine. As soon, let's say you're the boss of the house. Let's say, right? So you call the shot. So you say, okay, we finish eating. Let's say birchas hamazon. As soon as you say, let's bench, that's it. So the meal is over. So if you want to drink water at this point, you have to say a separate blessing.
Okay, just
But
want to make sure.
if for example, you're a guest in somebody's house, and you say, okay, so I'm full. Let's say birchas hamazon, and the hostess say, no, we have some more food is coming, some desserts. So in this case, and you decided to eat that food, it is included. I mean, if let's say that does not require separate blessing, you want to drink, no problem, because you did not finish the eating session. Because you're not the boss. But if you're the boss, that's it. So, but if you want to eat or drink after birchas hamazon, there is no problem whatsoever. But you need you're required to say separate blessing, because those separate eating sessions, we call eating sessions.
Yeah, okay, just want to make sure because I was not 100% sure. Okay, thank you so much.
Yeah, you're welcome. So, okay. Very good question. Okay. Any other questions? What we said? Okay. A question? Okay, so let's continue then. So again, just to clarify, on all of the liquids we say shechakol besides the wine. We had one exception, just to clarify. So we said that there is this one strong opinion that if the fruits were grown for the juice, for the right, for example, these oranges, right, and they were planted with that thing in mind, that they would be only used for orange juice. So there is opinion that you say baraprichates on them. But since most likely that we do not know, and if you look in the carton of the orange juice, it will say contain juice from Florida, from Brazil, from this and from that, from 2 or 3 countries. So and even if it says from Florida, they just buy the oranges from different people, right? So still we cannot say that it was from one place and they planted only for the purpose of the juice. Okay. Yes, go ahead.
Hey, one last question before we continue. Regarding this rice paper thing, does the blessing change if we cook it or not cook it? Because some spring rolls are kind of deep fried, and some other are kind of I wouldn't say raw, but you just take the rice paper, you soak it in water for some time until it gets soggy, and then you use it as it is. So does it change the blessing?
No, not in this case. Since it was modified so much, so we just say shechakol. If you could cook rice itself, so you say bareminim on the rice itself, yes. But on all of this bread we say shechakol. Okay. On rice bread. Okay. Any other questions before we continue? Okay, no problem. So we started a new topic, new Siman number 53. Very, very interesting, right? The topic is the laws regarding broth and juice of the fruit and the vegetables. Very right. We just discussed it a little, but we about the fruits and the vegetables. We're going to deep into it. Okay. This Siman, so introduction. This Siman discusses the appropriate blessing on fruit and vegetable juices and liquids in which the fruit and vegetables were cooked or soaked. Very interesting, right? So number 1, concerning all fruits and vegetables that are squeezed and extracted their juice, one recite the blessing shechakol nihye b'dvaroi, through whose word everything came to be upon the juice. The same blessing shechakol is recited on honey that oozes from dates. I'm going to explain. For no juice of the fruit is classed as the actual fruit, except the wine and oil. Okay. So let's do this from the beginning, and we're going to explain. Concerning all fruits and vegetables, one squeezes and extracts the juice. One is said blessing shechakol. Okay, so all of the juice have shechakol. So again, it's Kitzur. He does not bring this second opinion that we said, even though it's a Shulchan Aruch. So he trying to be concise, the bottom line, what to do. Okay, so he said shechakol. The same blessing shechakol recited on honey. So honey is also, sometimes it is so thick, so dense, so it's not flowing, but it's still considered to be liquid, right? Because I think if you warm up, so it's going to flow, right? Honey, okay, honey that oozes from dates, and just to remind us. When it says about the land of Israel, that land of flowing with milk and honey, so it's not honey from the bees, right? It's honey actually from the dates. Commentary. Okay, this is also true of the honey that was extracted by crushing and squeezing dates. Okay. Mishnah Brura 2:45. The sweet thick juice of the date of the fruit is known as honey. Okay. So I mean, I only saw it in Israel. Maybe here is also that they sell it, but I'm not sure. I only saw it in Israel. They do preserve. They it's honey. Looks very good, very nice, very tasty. Okay, continue. For no juice of the fruit is classed as the actual fruit. So fruit, what does it mean fruit? Fruit means that it's a primary fruit of that tree. Okay, except what? Except wine and oil. So wine is more important, right, than the grapes, right? And olive oil is more important than the olives themselves, right? So why? Wine is used was used for temple services, right? Wine libation. We use wine for all of the religious ceremonies, and olive oil also was used for temple services, for sure, right? In all of the meal offering, meal offering meaning the flour or the bread offering, doesn't matter. So with each animal they would bring meal offering, meaning, as we said, flour or the bread or matzah or whatever was it. I mean, when we said bread, we said like not leavened bread, like matzah, more flat breads, right? So, and they would use olive oil for sure. Okay, so commentary said, explain the Gemara, Brochos 38a, the juice of the fruit, whether it's oozed out on its own or was extracted by crushing and squeezing, is not considered the essence of the fruit. Okay, that's what we just said. In which case, the appropriate blessing is Beverages, meaning on the essence, who create the fruit of the tree. But they deemed to be merely sweat, so sweat in double quotes, sweat, there is a moisture of the fruit. So moisture of the fruit, meaning that it's not it's like two separate things. So it's not like essence, but when you squeeze you squeeze something else, sweat of the fruit. Therefore the blessing for apple cider and other fruits juices is shakol. Okay, see Mishnah Brura 2:47. Okay, so the only exceptions, as we said, is wine. So wine is actually, we say, even though on wine we say blessing, but if somebody said by mistake Beverages, meaning the fruit of the tree, or the fruit of the ground, after the fact, person does not need to repeat the blessing, right? And same with the olive oil. I'm not sure if people drink olive oil, but if they do, that's the same halacha. So, commentary: the principal use of grapes and olive is to produce wine and olive oil. Okay, see Shulchan Aruch Harav 202. Okay, continue. Therefore, it is fitting that they should be subject to the blessing of the fruit first. Beverages. Okay. Nevertheless, with regard to the wine, the sages institute the unique blessing. Okay, as Kitzur is going to explain this. Okay. So again, on wine, it's a separate blessing, but it's a main fruit in double quotes of this tree. Okay, continue. Now for wine. Okay, here we go. Which has great significance. The sages instituted unique blessing to recite upon it. So I'm going to skip. Beverages blessing, right? Bless you, HaShem, right? Who created the fruit of the wine. Okay. So wine is an only exception. So all other liquids we say shechakol. except olive oil. But as I said, I don't think anybody just drinks olive oil unless it's for medicinal purposes. But I think it's very rare. Okay, continue. Since the wine both satiates hunger and gladdens the heart, it is appropriate to offer special praise to one who creates this such an exceptional fruit. So again, satiates hunger, meaning don't drink a lot, right? Right, because there are many calories. It can gain a lot of weight, especially from a red wine. Yeah, especially when it's sweet, right? So, okay, so continue. Wine, continue. Concerning olive oil, which is also significant, if one derives benefit from consuming it in a manner that he must recite a blessing upon it. Again, I'm not sure if somebody drinks this, but if they do, so that's what they say. Then he recites a blessing, Baruch Hu eats. Okay, who creates the fruit of the tree. Okay, so as we said, okay, so if somebody drinks this olive oil, so he would need to say, for example, I don't know, maybe for some stomach issues or whatever, person would drink the olive oil, let's say a tablespoon, so you would need to say Baruch Hu eats on this. On this olive oil. Commentary. Kitzur explained there. I mean, they point to 54.8. So 54.8 is next chapter. Okay. Kitzur explained there. Generally, olive oil is not subject to its own blessing because if one drinks it on its own, it has a detrimental effect, and no blessing is recited on it at all. So I'm not sure what is it. Okay, no, it's actually. Yeah. So it's not good for health. I mean, in a salad for cooking there is no problem, but drink by itself, a detrimental effect. Okay, and if it is mixed with other ingredients, it is considered subordinate to the other ingredients and will be exempt from the blessing of the other ingredients. Okay, so by itself, as they say, it's harmful. I guess maybe like tablespoon if you need for medicinal purposes. I don't remember exactly, but I think I will learn that they would drink this olive oil for something. Okay. This in accordance with halakhic governing the blessing upon the primary and subordinate food, determined in that Siman. So in the next Siman we're going to see what is the primary, what is the secondary. So if as we said before, on the one dish we say only one blessing. So if for example you have a garden salad, right, and you have with olive oil, right, so this olive oil is a secondary, so subordinate. It's there to improve the salad, not the other way around. It is only when one drinks olive oil in the mixture for the medicinal purposes, here we go, that he recite Baruch Hu's blessing. For then this primary intent for the oil. I don't remember for what exactly, but it was some kind of stomach ailment. Okay. This is how long. It's too long. Okay, so we can stop here and let's see if we have any questions on any topic.